talk about this very troubling issue of Dumso, which won't go away. I don't know if we can meet the 2015, and I'm sure it's December 2015 deadline. Should we be looking for another way of resolving our energy situation? But let me read a bit of what is new for you. Fresh technical problems with the Volta River Authority have crippled the company's ability to generate power, triggering fears that the power supply situation could grow from bad to worse. The VRA plants in the Western region are currently only able to generate 150 megawatts out of a maximum of 600 megawatts because of technical faults. Due to the fault, the VRA is unable to process the optimum volume of gas, which the Ghana Gas Company is ready to supply. VRA is hoping to resolve the problem before Friday, but we are into Friday and the problem still persists. So it can take more gas from Ghana Gas in Atuabo in the Western region. The VRA relies on Ghana Gas Company in the Western region to power its thermal plants, Enclave and Takrade. It also relies on NGAS in Nigeria to power thermal plants in Tema. And we know that because we owe NGAS in Nigeria, there was a situation. But thankfully, they say we have a better plan of, paying back, and we did pay some. 10,000 out of what we owe. That's the understanding, and they've agreed that by February 2016 we must have finished paying those money. So we thought, okay, that hurdle has thankfully been crossed, only to be faced by this other challenge that the VRA is facing. I don't know, from where you sit, how do we cross this? It looks like we have a lot more energy issues than what we think we do.
The long-term solution is what the government is doing at the moment. It is generation. That is the more reason why we are going through all these things. And let me also make the point that the fact that we will be able to cross this Dumso situation after 2015 doesn't mean that we will not intermittently have technical issues about our plants. It doesn't mean that. And if you read the story is telling you about a technical problem with one of the machines. It is because we don't have enough plants. If we had enough plants generating the power, if one plant shuts up, it means that we can fall on another. But because we are almost on the, in fact, we are in deficit.
Are these not the same excuses, the same explanations that we've told ourselves over the years? If you don't have enough, provide enough.
That is what we are doing. But don't forget that if you are generating power or you are establishing a plant, it doesn't take a day or even months. It takes some time. Sometimes the earliest I hear is about 2 years. You understand? So, but that is the main situation we find ourselves.
This experience is way more than 3 years.
No, I'm saying that I have indicated that the earliest time you can think about is about 2 years. You understand? And so this is the situation. If the demand of electricity or power is increasing, then we will assume that we have to also increase our supply. You understand? But it hasn't happened for some number of years now. So it is an accumulated deficit that we are dealing with.
Which is a shame. Because
of course.
we have this, we have statistics. We know, we have data. We know how well we are growing, growing or not.
I agree with you. For some time now, we all turn a blind eye to it for the problems to be accumulated. So it is unfortunate that this particular regime finds itself facing directly with a problem. And as His Excellency has always been admitting that, look, he is the president at the moment and that he will have to confront the issues. But it is not as if it came all of a sudden.
We get it, but when you make promises...
that is the problem.
When you make promises, I mean, this is like 2 months into the deadline of 2015.
I am saying...
And this has intensified.
No, I have indicated that even if we cross that borderline, it doesn't mean that we won't have technical problems. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that we won't have intermittently, because the machines, they are machines, as the name implies. They are machines. They can, we can have faults with them. But if we have excess, that is where we can fall on other plants as and when we are maintaining others, or, we develop faults with some of them. You understand? So for me, I don't think it's a major issue that they cannot deal with. Thanks be to God, they are saying that they will be able to deal with it before Friday. I will be looking
This is the Friday.
I'll be looking
We're
for.
into the Friday.
I don't know whether it was even dealt with yesterday. How will you know last night?
No, because you know, if you, it says that. You know, there was an earlier problem which had been resolved,
Yeah.
but on Thursday,
the supply of gas.
On Thursday, even that was with the supply of
Yes.
gas. But on Thursday, the VRA also experienced another major fault, we're told, which has crippled VRA's ability to receive optimum gas from the Ghana Gas Company. So it's not like we have an issue with gas. No.
No, it's a problem of the machine. It's a technical problem. So who am I?
You know, I'm just thinking why these technical problems, you know, the Western people don't face it. You know, like
But it is because
Europe and America
it is not,
don't face
don't get it
problems.
wrong. It's not as if they don't face technical problems. They face technical problems, but it is because they have excess. So you won't realize it. You won't see it.
So
that's exactly what we're doing
don't
now.
have excess.
We don't have access to the demand. It's more than the supply. And so the little problem we have, it will reflect. So that is what we have to deal with, and that is what we are dealing with at the moment. If we have excess, for example, if there's a machine at VRA and that has, developed a fault, and we can shut that machine up and then probably use another machine, you won't even know that a particular machine has developed a fault. So the problem is about generation. It's about getting excess. It's about getting more than we demand as a country.
Okay.
And I agree that over the years, we have not done enough to compensate for the increase in the demand of energy in this country.
Honorable Kukufu, what do you see from where you sit?
Just as any other Ghanaian, disappointment, frustration. The nation has been plunged into the quagmire of despondency with this energy crisis on our hands. For 3 years running, we've been saddled with this kind of situation with promises upon promises. If you talk about the energy crisis, then you are talking about serial lying from government officials, from the president down through his minister, down to PROs and all those things. And
what do you say, serial lying?
yes, serial lying.
Haven't they been saying as it is? I mean, if a plant is down, they communicate that to you.
We have a situation, we are told there was a best offshore of this pipeline coming from Nigeria. Once we get it fixed up, the problem will be resolved. Okay, fine. It was fixed, nothing happened. Then we are told, oh, Bridam will soon come on board. The president got in there and then commissioned Bridam and said, this thing is going to be a thing of the past. It's going to happen again. Another promise. It did not happen. Then again, we came in and all we had to do, the president had to sack the ECG boss because he's been a stumbling block there. Then nothing happened. Then we have, we are told new power badges coming. They are coming February, they are coming March, they are coming September. Once they come, we will solve this problem. Then we move on and said, we are going to create a new power ministry. Once the power ministry comes on board, we have a competent person there who will manage it, and this thing will be a thing of the past. Then we are still there.
Somebody said that.
Then again, we were told, oh, Atuabo gas, once we have our own gas streaming in, this will be a thing of the past. Atuabo gas is on board, yet we are here we are. Now Nigeria says we owe them, and we have to pay. We went in and paid $10 million down payment out of 180 million. Then within a week or two, we are in this situation. So it has been serialized. Now, let me go back. My brother was trying to take us back, previous governments and all that. Yes, it's true. You perfectly said so. We have records, we have statistics, we have everything. That matches our demand, not only in energy situation, anything, water.
But you're all guilty in that sense.
I'm coming. All the necessities, I mean, the water, schools, and all those things, including energy. Yes, so as we move on, we need to produce enough to contain the expanding population. 2009, himself and myself were not in parliament, but we are fortunate enough to be able to read because of a teacher. You go to the Hansard Parliament, 2009, the first budget statement presented to Parliament when NDC took over from J.A. Kufuor, His Excellency's government. The then Minister of Finance, at page 92 of that document, under the caption energy performance. He said the government, the outgone government, 2007 power energy crisis was able to contain it. It brought in A, B, C, D, and that the problem was resolved. That was the testimony of the then finance minister. It's a record. It's a matter of record. It's there.
But what does it mean? I mean, was it permanently resolved? It was contained.
Well, I'm coming. He said the government did A, B, C, they put all this. Now we have taken over. We're going to improve upon, so within the next few years, you'll be able to generate up to 3,000 megawatts, and that we are not going to experience power energy crisis again. It is in there. So it means governance is continuing. One government had done that much, initiated, made a foundation. So yes, it's my turn in government. Mine is to continue with that, improve upon, and as we move forward, then we'll be able to give credence to what the then minister said. Between 2009 up to 2012, there was no power outages. There were no power crises. There were no energy crisis in the system. So clearly, it tells you that something might have been done. All you needed to do is to build upon it. 2012 June, mid-year, then we started experiencing this power crisis. So what happened? Something might have gone wrong. What the government needed to do to augment and then continue from where J. Kufuor's government left has not been done. So it means, therefore, that the gap that we all aspire to close have been left there to rather deepen. That is where we are now. And it has been consistently and persistently lies being told to the people of Ghana here. Now, we heaping all the blames on ECG, saying ECG is incompetent, ECG is not running, we're going to look for a private concern, to partner the public. I have absolutely no problem. That has to do
But where is that competence when you've allowed people to owe you so much?
That is it. So who is the largest debtor here? You're talking about government.
So go for your money.
Oh, government owing ECG and VRA to the tune of $350 million.
What is stopping ECG from making sure that they collect those monies?
From the government.
Come what may.
From the government. The government sacked the ECG boss just recently, and you are the ECG boss. You go and stand before the president and ask him pay the $350 million to my outfit. You'll not be in office the following day. But going forward, what we are saying as Ghanaians, I mean, I'm not talking as an NPP, I'm not talking as a what Ghanaians are trying to say is that it is you, the politicians, that you come up to us. You know the problems, you know the aspirations of we, the people of Ghana, the sovereign people of Ghana. You come to us with all kinds of promises in your manifestos and all that, criticisms against your predecessors and all that. You sit at the bench and you know what is going on and all that. So when you are given power, when you are given the authority to govern, they do not expect any more excuses from you. They do not expect any kinds of this man did not do that the other man did not do that, that's why I'm in here. You have been given the authority, you have the resources, you have everything that it takes to move us forward. We demand, Ghanaians demand nothing from we the
Do you
politicians.
remember everything that you're saying when you are in government?
Yes, of course you have to.
This point of view from the people.
Yes, of course, unless, of course, you refuse to remember. Because
sometimes we as ordinary citizens feel that you as politicians, when you get there, you forget that. That
is what you see, I'm advocating here. That's why I told you, I removed the cap of a politician.
Because even when you remove it, you are still a member of a political party.
Do you agree with me that he has indeed removed it?
The danger here is, that's why we have always been on the neck of our colleagues in government now, you understand, because we stand to be irrelevant in the affairs of nation building when it comes to governance systems, because the people are continuously losing confidence and hope in us. That is the fear. So we are on their neck so they can do better for all of us to swim in the tide of good governance and all that. So when it's my turn in government, then I'll be able to confidently deal with the other issues that I come to meet. But as we see today, there are incompetence in government, mismanagement of almost every sector of our social life, economic life in this country. It's giving us a bad name. It's giving us a bad look. It is not speaking well of us as politicians. It's not speaking well of us as the people, managers of the nation. We better do something good. This year, lying about our energy crisis must stop. Something needs to be done to correct this. Enough is enough.
Mr. Kandel, that sounds convincing.
Mama, you know, I'm a Ghanaian, and I live in Ghana. I have constituents. I have family. We all do. We all live in Ghana, and so the energy problem facing us at the moment, I can't sit down here and be clapping my hand that I'm happy about the situation. Certainly no. And you would also agree with me that one of the most worried people in this country is His Excellency the President. But you see, we need to face fact. When we are discussing issues of such nature and we drop in politics here and there, my heart bleeds. You know, it's as if...
You do that when you're in opposition too.
Well, as and when, there are issues that I don't attach politics at all. Not issues like energy issues.
Honorable Henry, please, it's on record.
Please.
On the floor of Parliament.
Please. You see, he started saying, J. Kufuor came, he put measures in place, we were supposed to build up on it, and we didn't do it, and blah, blah. He couldn't specifically mention one measure that His Excellency J. Kufuor.
But he talked about, and I haven't seen the booklets. Yeah. But you know, you are also in Parliament with him. He did mention about an acknowledgement of what the previous administration had done in the sector.
Let me even give him the benefit of the doubt that there's even a book like that, or there's something that has it like that. You and I, we are all Ghanaians. Can you tell me what the then government did that we have come to destroy? As if there was a system in place to avoid or to prevent Dumsor. And when we came and said, well, we don't like that system, so let's destroy it and allow Ghanaians to go through Dumsor. Is that the situation?
Yeah, I did not invest.
You see, so there was absolutely nothing that could sustain the system after it.
There's something you could have paid. Can
I make my point? You see, there was absolutely nothing like that. He kept saying that we have been lying to the people, we have been lying to the people. You see, the reality
serial lying, specific.
Yeah. The reality is that, look, at a point in time, we had a specific problem. And we thought that by fixing that particular problem, the general problem could be solved. What was the problem? The problem was that, look, as at that time, the pipelines were, there was a burst in one of the pipelines. And so we thought that if we fix that one, and then the gas flow, it means that we'll be able to, maintain the flow of energy in the country. We did that, and immediately after doing that, there was another problem about the machine. You see, the sources of firing the plant is not just one. It's not gas alone.
So who's been advising us? I mean, do we know what we are doing?
Sometimes.
Do we know what we are doing?
You cannot foresee some of the things coming. You cannot. You need to be a magician to be able to foresee.
But do we know what we're doing?
Why not?
Because that's what we're asking. Do we know what we're doing?
We do. The only problem going forward, I've already indicated that the long-term solution is to have excess generation. Because you cannot say that as a country, our energy plants, we can't have fault with any of them. We will have. But the problem is that if we have fault with one of them, if we have excess, we will realize the situation we find ourselves in now.
So what's been stopping us for all this while
from
putting those in
fantastic place? That is the point. So I thought that he was going to tell me, that is why I don't like, going in the direction of politics. Because when they were in power for 8 good years, they couldn't start one single project and completed it for the good people of this country. One single project started and completed.
But what's wrong with starting for another government or another administration to finish?
8 years.
There's nothing wrong with
8 years. Because, mind you, every year there's a percentage, if I'm not wrong, about 12% increase in demand. So if you don't do anything, even if you start something, one project in 8 years, it means that you are accumulating the problem, the deficit, for 8 years. So if a particular government comes and he's facing it, I have mentioned it here, the president has admitted it's not as if he's playing a blame game. He's blaming somebody without fixing it. But now, as I speak to you now, there are pragmatic steps put in place about generation of power in this country.
I tell you what the problem is. The problem for us, and I would always say as ordinary persons, is that you give us a promise, you tell us something, we're hopeful. And then the time comes and we don't see anything, and then it continues.
The minister told you that he's putting his work on the line.
That doesn't mean anything to me as an individual.
It
doesn't mean anything to me.
It's not a promise. So what do you call a promise?
It doesn't mean anything.
What do you call a promise? It doesn't mean anything. What do you call a promise?
And I'm not even taking it from his angle. I'm not taking it from the angle of the Prime Minister.
What do you call a promise?
I'm taking the angle of the President who has said that he's going to fix it.
Of course.
I'm taking it from the angle of promises where we've been told, oh, there are batches that will come.
The journalists didn't go to see the badges themselves? They didn't?
There's another issue of taking journalists to go and see the batches.
No,
but for the rest of us, for the many of us who cannot go to Turkey or wherever to go and see what is being built, we're only relying on what you say, that it will come at this time or at that time or at that time. That's what we are looking forward to.
I agree with you. When the president said he was going to fix the energy problem, I never heard the president saying that he was going to fix it by the end of October. The president didn't say that. The president said that he was going to fix the energy problem and that he was not going to manage it. And that he was taking the word of his minister. That is what he said in Parliament. But by the end of 2015, so if you don't take this as a promise, and then you select what you do, you take as promise.
No, what you were asking was he was putting his job on the line. And yes. I'm saying that doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, it may not mean
your job on the line doesn't mean anything
to you. No, but it may mean something to the one who is putting his job on the line.
Because you see, I have followed the Power Minister. Before he became Power Minister, there were so many things that he told us as Ghanaians that we were not doing. So a lot of the things that he's doing today, we don't even expect him to do it. We don't expect him. I have a recording of him. Some of the things that he said, Ghanaians should demand of their leaders. We're supposed to, as we sit here today, be following through the process. I mean, if I was to take him on his own words, I would expect a press conference from the Prime Minister every week for him to tell us what he's been doing.
Number one, nobody is stopping you from demanding from your leaders. Number two, when the man came into office, he said Ghanaians should give him 1 year to fix the issue. You can only take him on after the 1 year. But today,
we have to move on.
What are you going to take him on? I agree that if we are going to take emotions into this matter, probably some of us could have even behaved worse. But you see, the reality on the ground must be told. And we cannot do any other thing but telling you the reality, what is really happening. And I am happy. I am happy to say that, look, we have a man who is fixing the situation, not managing it, so that we won't meet it in a
So it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Mama.
Who says so?
No, because it was getting better. And then now it's getting worse.
What is it? Because, you see, at a point in time, the situation in which we found ourselves in, we realized that it was improving. And they have come out to tell you that there was a technical hitch. There was a technical problem, and that they are fixing the problem.
So we'll move out of this, right?
Why not?
Mama, can I jump in?
I'll give you a minute.
Yeah. You see, frankly, I think I have to commend my colleague because you talked about vision. You talked about magic. The government cannot be magicians and all that. That is where we've been talking about leadership. Leadership with vision. Leadership that can see afar, and then put things in place so you can accommodate unforeseen circumstances coming. So that's what I'm parting.
Yes, no. You took it out of completely out of context.
Let him land.
No, but let him land.
Let him land, and then I'll give you the opportunity to say what you meant.
Then he's talking about the minister who says he put his his job on the line. The minister who said he's not the president's spokesman, so we should go and ask the president.
The president has apologized on his behalf.
Is that minister you're talking about?
It's a good campaign message for you, so I allow him.
No, but you see, on a more serious note, governance is a serious issue. But we cannot be dilly-dallying and then playing around with governance issue. Simple things like energy provision, basic things, we are lacking. And let us go back and check the cost. Death, what has happened in our hospitals. Businesses collapse.
As usual.
Small, medium-scale businesses along my Bantama High Street and all those things. These young ladies and young men using electricity for head drawing and mechanics and all those things, they've all lost their businesses. Huge social and economic cost on our hands. And we're still not finding solutions to that. Then the minister comes and says, if I'm not able to fix it at the end of the year, my job is on the line. But who said ministers' jobs are sacrosanct? I mean, they are in perpetuity. You are there at the pleasure of the president. He can appoint you today and tomorrow ask you to go to another place. Or stop working at all as a minister. So that one, I agree with you perfectly, Mama. When you told my colleague that you do not take it for anything. I mean, who cares whether you are a minister or not? Ghana moves on with the president, with the minister, and all those things. We all passing by. We are all in transit. So that alone cannot. He should have apologized to the people of Ghana. We need to solve this problem. We are available. We are the opposition. We are not happy what is happening to our people and to our nation. We try to.
You love it, don't you?
No,
you love it.
No.
Because this gives you a lot of things to say against the party.
No. We're crying for our country. We're crying for Mother Ghana. That's why the Nadu Dankwa Akufo-Addo have consistently said that Ghana must work again. That's why we're trying to. And when you get Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia coming around, he's trying to profess some kind of solutions to some of these problems.
So they should listen to him.
They should simply listen.
30 seconds for what you said you were misquoted on.
You know, what we're discussing the issue of the gas flowing and the issue of the gas pipeline. And after that, another reason given for the situation we found ourselves. And I was only saying that, look, you can predict that something can happen in the future. So you put a long-term solution, and the long-term solution is getting access. That you can do. But you cannot specifically, because if you have a situation where you have a problem with your pipeline, and you think that if you fix that particular pipeline, your problem will be solved. And if you finish and the dam is dried, what do? You are faced with another challenge that you didn't anticipate in the first place.
Okay.
You could have anticipated that and put as an excess generation, but that doesn't come within days. It doesn't come within months. So it is not as if we don't have a vision for putting, solutions ahead of problems, of foreseeing that problems will happen. But I am saying that, look, the president didn't immediately see that, look, after fixing the pipeline, then the dams were going to get dried.
I get what you mean. Maybe what we need is somebody specifically in this area. There's so many questions that's on our minds as ordinary persons that we need some answers to. But
I can assure you, the president, His Excellency, the president is on top of his job, and
we'll fix this.
And unless, of course, you are refusing to see what is really going on.
Thank you so much for your time.
Most of the time, journalists are carried along to go and see for themselves the various plants that are being built. And that I think in the shortest possible
saying
time.
doesn't solve the problem. We want the problem.
If you see, at least there's hope.
Mr.
There's something.
Mr. Henry Kwabena Kokofu, my guests. We couldn't tackle the third issue, unfortunately, because we've done a lot.
What about that?
On the credibility of the voter register.
What about that?
I thought that has been talked about so much.
I mean, what is it? What is it?
Because you have it.
We'll see you into the debate.
We will talk about it another day. But thank you so much for your time.
They have no point at all.
I have to make way for Gladys Oseyo Radio, who's got entertainment. But I'm proud of being a trendsetter. I have student change for the better. I train a youth football team in my neighborhood. What makes you stand out? What are you doing to make a difference in your community? The Hero Mobile is touring Ghana. DW and Joy News are looking for local heroes. Guess what? Just like you. So catch the Hero Mobile crew as we come to your neighborhood. We'll be at Teshi Tribleo live with Screwface at the Methodist Park today, 23rd of October, with Gasmilla at Labadi Nativity Presby School on the 24th of October. Come rock with these artists. We're talking VVIP, Gasmilla, Screwface, and Kwakese. Come and share your story and let us celebrate you. The Hero Mobile is brought to you by Joy News and DW. Global insights for local heroes.